What's up, YouTubers? So I got the 2022 WRX, and I decided I'd be cheap and buy the illuminated door sills myself and do an install. Unfortunately, they did not come with any instructions. So I'm going to try to make a quick video here, and hopefully I don't wreck anything. Obviously, they're clearly marked L&R. Left is the driver's side. If you inspect them on the front and back, there are these little insert tabs, kind of triangular shape, so I guess that's going to be a little bit of a snap on to get them in there. There's some guides, tabs here and here that I believe will just line them up, and another snap-on guy here. That other wire on the right is for the other one. So on the front of these sills, there is a wiring harness, and you'll see they kind of guide towards this channel. Right, sorry, I'm a one-armed cameraman here. This channel here and towards the outside of the vehicle. This wire is about an extra 15 inches long, so I believe it's going to run up around the other panel that's under the dash along the outside edge of the car. And here's our existing one. This piece is coming out to make room for the new guy. Again, I am one-handed here, so I basically started at the back and slowly lifted up firmly like I meant to do it, and it easily became unsnapped. You can see those slots where it lines up with the body of the car. And now up here on the front, there's a tab that's got it attached, so I got to figure out how to unlock that. So before I get too excited about separating this guy from the other piece, I figured I would just try to pop this other piece out and pull them out together, and then I can flip it over and see it from the bottom side, see what's fighting me. So there's an insert fitting right here, just one of those plastic bolts that looks like a Christmas tree on the inside. I'm going to grab my pry tool here and just get under there, pop that out, and I should be able to get this all out. That popped right out super easy with the pry tool. It just looks like this. Just a little pop rivet out of plastic. Now the other piece should come right out of there. Well, I thought that would pop right off nice and easy, but there's something right in behind here that has it firmly attached to the outside edge of the car. So in my pulling around, I found that this guy did just lift up. And let me get my light around here so we can see that a little better. There's just a little square hole. So if I lifted that up, my sill plate up high enough, it would have popped right up out of there. So I just stuck my head under here, and here just above this piece I was just fighting with, there is, see that pink ribbon just above my wedding ring finger there? There's a connector right there, and it's looking vaguely familiar like it's the right connector for my sill plate. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my other one in, run my wire up there and see if it connects. Here are my old sill plates side by side. I pulled them out to look at them in this view because there were, well, there's 4 cable ties, and there's 4 of these little adhesive pads that are just a little bit of a foamy thing. So I thought maybe they would set on the bottom edge of this just to keep any paint from scratching as these things move around and feet hit them and whatnot. But I figured I would find something like that on the original equipment that came out of there, but as you can see, there is not. So I'm going to kind of wing it and see if it looks like I should put those here or not. Looking at the sill where these are going to go, there really isn't any paint that this is going to rub on. I don't see any sense in putting those pads on the underside of my sill plate. Those pads are going to be necessary anywhere. There was also 4 cable ties in the package, but I don't see where those are going to go. So I'm going to take my wire harness and fish it around the inside of that other piece that hasn't come off the car, so I can get it up above. I'm able to reach around that pretty well because I can just kind of pull it out like that. Okay, I'm back here standing on my head underneath the car, and my buddy with the pink ribbon here is not the right connector for the job. However, right beside it, that little guy up there in the upper left of the screen, that looks like the right connector. Okay, this is by far the most ridiculous part of the install because the part of the vehicle wiring up there is in a spot that is impossible, I found, to get your fingers on it to hold it. I actually used one of these screwdrivers with a bend in it to kind of get behind the wiring harness, behind the plug, to hold it firmly so that I could firmly insert the sill plate wiring harness to connect it and snap it in. So that did work. There was a little bit of swearing involved and it took some time, but it's connected, ready to go. Oh yeah, and by the way, look at that. She's hot. Just gotta snap things back together and we're good to go. One last note, I did say that I was going to snake this around the inside of the panel. I didn't. I laid it down on the inside and I found I was able to fish it right up around behind that tab and get everything tucked in there nicely. So I'm just gonna snap it together now. There we have it, all snapped in, looking sharp. All right, so lastly, I did want to snag a picture of the passenger side. This wire was tucked up a little ways higher up, but again, there's that pink ribbon there holding it there in place. I'm almost guessing that can probably be cut off to give you a little more slack. Maybe that's why I couldn't firmly get a hold of it. I'll probably try that this time, see how it goes. And there we have it. Side 2 is all done. I'd like to say it went a little easier now that I've done the first side as far as the second, but it was still a fight to get that connector put together up there. There's really no room for your hands anywhere near that wire, so it was going to prove difficult to cut that pink ribbon off, and I did not end up cutting it. I left it attached thinking it was going to help me put some pressure against it to make the connection snap into place, and it did seem to help in that regard. All right, I hope this whole thing was helpful. Bye.